Welcome to Sisterhood Check-in. I am your author and coach and the host of Sisterhood Check-in. Welcome to Sisterhood Check-in. I am excited that you are spending yet another Friday with moi and my special guest. Thank you so much for watching. I want to let you know if you are watching us via YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button so that you can be notified every week when we upload a new video. If you are watching us via Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or any other social media websites, make sure you click like and share if you're blessed by the content that you are seeing each and every day. Also, there is a little button on the side of you if you are watching on your mobile phone that says stars. You can support by sending stars. Make sure you click and support by sending us stars so that we can continue to create amazing content for you. I also wanted to let you guys know I did a reel and a story earlier. If you have a testimony and you want to share here on a Sisterhood broadcast, make sure you send me an inbox at the Woman of Prov handle, or you can send it to my personal page, Nadira A. Lewis. And I'd love to be able to have you on the broadcast so that you can share all the amazing things that are happening in your lives. So, my guest, I cannot wait to bring her on. I've been wanting to have her on my broadcast for a very long time. She is an executive wellness coach and an amazing individual. Might I add, an amazing individual. So I want you guys to be able to sit in with us, get your coffee, get your tea, call up your girlfriend and say, Sisterhood Check-in is on the air, girl. Make sure you like and share if you're watching live on Facebook or any other social media platforms. And we'll be right back after this.
Sometimes it's not enough to be reminded that Jesus hasn't left you or forgotten you. We need to declare it over ourselves, over others. No matter the season you may find yourself in, no matter the depths of darkness you're wading through, you can join him in declaring the truth. That God is light upon your feet, whether or not you can see the next step. That God is your strength, even though the weight of life seems to be crushing you down. And that when your job, your marriage, your relationship, your health feels like it's coming to a dead end, there is only one God that can make dead things live again. These are his promises, and they're the only thing you need to declare over your life. So as you step into this next season or this next moment, you can declare that God's not done with you. He's just getting started. You can declare that the good work that he has started in you, he will surely complete it. You can declare that the same God that parted the seas goes before you, goes behind you. You can declare these promises over your life, over your family's life, over the people passing on the street. You can declare these truths over every circumstance, over every season of your life. You can declare that every day belongs to him and every new breath belongs to him. Because we have the power of a living God living inside of us. And this is our declaration.
Wow. Welcome back to Sisterhood Check-in. I am excited every time I watch that video. Just something on the inside of me just lightens up. Purpose just gets me excited because I love being in a position to be able to activate my purpose, because when we activate our purpose and we begin to walk in our purpose, it just adds life to us. For some apparent reason, it just does something to me. I did a meme not too long ago, and I said little babies are awakened by their mothers. Little girls are awakened by alarm clocks, right? but women are awakened by purpose. And that is such a true fact, because every morning that I get up, I do not use an alarm clock. I wake up at the exact same time every morning. It's crazy. I had to look back, and I said to myself, wow, this is so powerful that I am able to, that purpose wakes me up every day. God wakes me up because of my purpose. And I don't have to depend, though the alarm clock is there set in place, I don't have to depend on it. Well, we are here today with my amazing special guest, Leema Pasha. Welcome to Sisterhood Checkin. Woo! How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Nadira, for having me. Oh my gosh, that was such a powerful opening. I almost started tearing up. That was powerful. Yes.
Yeah, that
Walking in your
video is
purpose.
that video is like, it just, I try to, have videos that are inspiring, that catch you, by the gut, so that it can provoke change and provoke, stir up some stuff that may be just doormat in our lives. And I
Right.
know you have gone through some stuff in your life that has caused you to be at a point where you're able to walk in purpose. So Leema, share
Yes.
with the listening audience, how did you become the woman that you are today?
Wow. So that's a powerful question. My journey started towards this point. The earliest memory I have of really having a vision for my life, for what I wanted to do, was when I was about maybe 10, between 10 and 12. I knew I wanted to be a writer because I saw the news and different things on the news that were disparaging. But I
Mm,
also knew that there were good things happening. So I wanted to write about the good things. And
mm,
then I also saw a lot of disparity when I was driven around to San Francisco, seeing homelessness on the street. And the contrast of that, also seeing very wealthy people dressed up. So
mm,
those were some of the early thoughts that shaped my life, like seeing the news, the disparity on the news, and wanting to like talk about the good things that I saw. And then
mhm,
also seeing people experiencing different states of consciousness and different states of well-being. And I knew that it wasn't wealth
mm,
or poverty that shaped someone's life. It was their
mm.
well-being.
Oh,
Everybody
wow.
needs wellness, whether they're homeless on the
Wow.
streets or whether they're dressed up,
Mm,
wealthy, going to jobs and businesses. So that was part of my inspiration
mhm,
for wellness. And then after 20 years as a public affairs executive, working, I noticed some health challenges that I had that really
mm.
stirred me to think seriously and critically about my own wellness. And then I saw
Wow.
baby boomers and things like that as they experience health challenges. And I was like, I was always led to find and identify ways to improve my wellness, to be in a better
Mhm,
state of health, rather
mm.
than just going through the motions on a daily basis. Sometimes you have health challenges that kind of pull you out and say, you
Yeah.
need to concentrate on this.
Wow.
So wellness became kind of like my rallying cry. I worked on
Mm,
my own self, and then I found that I enjoyed helping others as well,
mhm,
serving as a resource and a sense of support, and then also uh, gathering information from other people who are also experts in the wellness space. So I developed a book called Activate Your Wellness, How
mhm,
Leaders Go from Drained to Reclaimed.
mhm,
And once I became an executive wellness coach, I always knew that this work wasn't just about me, it was the wellness of our people. It started with women, but I work with both women and public service leaders.
mhm.
So, yeah, there were several different health challenges that kind of transformed me. They were part of my transformation.
Okay.
The first was when I was trying to conceive my first child, I had several second term losses. And
Mm.
that really challenged me to think, well, why? I feel like I'm doing everything right. Why is this happening? And to find some solutions. So I changed my diet at that time. And then, it does help you to focus more spiritually, to know that challenges can come into your life, but it depends on how you react to that. So developing
Mm.
different ways to respond to challenges, especially emotional challenges like the loss of when you're trying to conceive children. So that was my first challenge that kind of stirred me when I was, before I was even 30. And then later on in life, I experienced something where I was heading to work.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, my heart started beating, racing, pumping so fast. It felt like my whole body was rocking.
Wow.
And instead of ending up at work, I ended up on a stretcher with the EMTs holding up their fingers saying how many they saw, and a wave of other questions to keep me from passing out. Um,
Wow.
and then, I felt the oxygen mask placed on my chest, and they said my heart was beating 221 beats per minute and my respiration was low. So I went on to continue to experience this several times. And that was a big part of my wellness journey, trying to figure out what was going on. Because I had doctors telling me, well, some people just have a tendency towards this, and just kind of vague things. And so, I continued to work in that space. And then I became a coach and a writer.
Mm.
I learned what triggered that in me. That was called supraventricular tachycardia.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of, you know, that was a blessing to me, actually, because if I hadn't experienced that, maybe I wouldn't have been as focused on, you know, exercise and nutrition and
Mm.
for both myself and other people, and so it really led me down a heartfelt path to renew my own wellness inside and out. Uh,
Yeah.
that was the big thing, the realization that it wasn't just an external wellness, it's something from the inside out that you're exuding.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this chapter of my life, I'm ready to really exude that joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I teach my clients to do, to go from drained to reclaimed. Sometime the workplace and things that happen in the home life can make you stressed. A
Mm.
lot of people are saying, I'm tired, I'm stressed, and they really need some relief. But it takes your own personal journey in order to come to that relief. It's, you have to go beyond just acknowledging it to figuring out what steps work well for you, what lifestyle habits are going to support you on your
Mm.
journey. And then also work with other people too, because no man is an island. You don't want to have to
Absolutely.
do it alone. You need
Absolutely.
friends, you need coaches,
Absolutely.
support system.
Absolutely. I think it was one thing that you said that kind of stuck out to me. You said that you realized that it wasn't poverty, it wasn't wealth that was keeping people, that was hindering people, it was wellness. And I thought that when you said that, I was like, oh, I never really heard it like that, because the key thing is, if you don't feel good, you just don't do good.
Right.
Whether you have a great, that's a different perspective, because we think mindset is one of the ways, but if you don't have your health, if you don't feel well mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, what happens is it doesn't matter how wealthy of a mindset that you have, it's going to affect how you function and how you show up. And that's been really and I think COVID has taught us that too. That we've gotten to see, especially me. I wasn't the greatest eater, but I wasn't the greatest junk eater either. But I did have I did have things that I was doing that I noticed was hindering my ability to show up. And when I go back and I look, I'm like, man, I was tired a lot. I used to always just be tired. Didn't realize why I was so tired. You think, oh, well, because I'm a mom, because I work. But I realized it was my total well-being. I wasn't eating well. I wasn't feeding my mind things that will strengthen me. So it was a collaboration of things that brought me to an aspect to say, you know what? That's why I talk about slowing down. Being in a place now where I did a course on mental blocks, and I was saying how one of the things that we don't realize is that we have to sometimes slow down so that we can examine and see what areas, like you said, what lifestyle, what areas of our life that we need to work on or fix, because it doesn't matter how well you're able to speak, or how not well you're able to speak. If you don't feel good, it's gonna affect how you show up and what you do.
Right, right. And so many people are just going through the motions day by day because that's what
Absolutely.
they've been kind of trained to do. We don't realize that we're
We're
trained to
trained
do
to go and
something,
run. We
just
trained to
keep
run.
going until it's time to retire. And then when
Mhm.
people retire, then their bodies are feeling broken down. And sometimes it starts feeling broken down before they even get to
Mhm.
retirement, because they're not stretching enough, they're sitting
Right.
too much,
Oh
or
gosh.
they're not doing things to support their mental and physical wellness.
Yes.
So, one time I experienced something called sciatica. And with sciatica, you have to get up and stretch because,
Mm.
your back and everything gets tight. So, that's another common challenge that people face in the workforce. And we don't know that when we start out in our 20s, young and youthful, and we start to have challenges, people tell us it's just age, but it's not necessarily just age. It's certain
Mm.
lifestyle habits that we're
Wow.
taking in that are leading to our health degeneration.
Mm.
But I like to focus on joy, not just success, helping people with lifestyle habits that create
Mhm.
joy in their life so they can
Yes.
savor life,
Yeah.
going beyond just work life balance. That's what some
Mhm.
people work towards. But we don't want to just have work life balance. We want to have joy. We want to be able to savor life, look
Mm.
at our loved ones with love and joy, and just have that time to embrace without feeling a
Mhm.
sense of pain and stress.
Mm.
And even though, stress will come, but if we have healthy
Mm.
coping mechanisms versus unhealthy coping mechanisms, then we can
Mhm.
fall down and get back up and keep going on a
Right.
daily basis.
I agree. I agree. So with you, you mentioned that you had experienced some health issues. A lot of us pretty much, we go through different things, and it kind of spearheads us into our purpose and whatever it is that we've dealt with. What was it about what happened to you? Where was the transition in your mindset to say, you know what? This is something that's affecting me, and I want to
Mhm.
talk about it, because it's one thing to feel bad or to go through things, and then you kind of just, what was it that in your experience of what happened to you that triggered that I need to teach people how to have
Yeah.
wellness?
So, one of the things that I support my clients with is mindfulness meditation.
Got
And
you.
that helps you learn breathing practices to reduce stress.
Mm.
And it helps you also to learn how to scan your own body, to realize what's
Mm.
going on in your body. Sometimes we're going on autopilot and we don't even know that we have a
Yeah.
headache or something like
Yeah.
that. But when you scan your body, you're examining mentally
Mm.
thinking about, how does my head feel? How does my eyes feel? How am
Mm.
I feeling? And if you're
Yeah.
feeling any tension, you take 5 minutes to allow yourself to release that tension rather than holding that inside of your body and
Yeah.
allowing it to build up and create more
Yeah.
problems. So that was one of the things that I learned. I just kept researching, what would
Yeah.
help me feel better. And as I learned different things, I started to create my own system to
Mm.
support myself and my clients.
Yeah. Because one thing I realize is that it doesn't matter what goes on. If you don't feel your best, oof, it's not going to matter how good you're able to how good you're at anything if you don't feel good. And sometimes people might say, well, I don't really need to, you don't really need to show me. I just need a break, but sometimes you need somebody to show you
Right,
how to put a plan in place to be able to orchestrate the lifestyle that you want, because if you could, you would.
right, exactly. Like they say, some things you can't DIY. You need support. You need support.
Yes, and
So,
you need to implement the strategies that are given to you, because sometimes
right.
people are around you and they tell you every day how to do things, and we just don't
Yeah.
pay attention. We try to do it halfway, because we don't want
Right.
to put in the work. Because the fact of the matter is, the reality is, it does take work, and it is going to take effort, and it's going to take determination and
Mhm.
consistency to follow through with it, because it's not going to just happen overnight.
Right. And I've developed this system over 15 years
Hmm.
of work,
Yeah.
so it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes you fall down, you fall off, you get back on, you learn so much over time.
Hmm.
So that's what systems are designed to do, to kind of help you take the easy road versus having to go through all of those challenges to get to where
Yeah.
you need to go in a more seamless way.
Mhm.
It's really a joy. It's really a joy to just sit down and examine all the challenges that we are facing in the workforce and in the home life, and how we are able to transform ourselves, go from drained to reclaimed. Like,
Mhm.
if you realize the state of resilience that we all have as people, and how many resources that are available to us that we don't necessarily take advantage of because we're not able to focus on those. Things are designed for us to focus on just maybe a material thing or maybe something short term.
Mhm.
But here we are with the opportunity to learn lifestyle habits that can transform
Mhm.
our lives from now going forward. So it's not just a quick fix, but it's something that's really there for your vitality.
Got you.
And it's fun. You're going to have fun healing, you're going to have fun learning more about yourself
Mhm.
and just tapping in to your creativity.
Yeah. Now I'm looking at your website here. Your is this Activate Wellness? Is this and I'm gonna have to put this on the screen. The Activate Wellness is an ebook. Is that correct? Is that something that you have on your site? An ebook?
Yes, that's a free
Okay.
downloadable ebook. But
Okay.
then I also have Activate Your Wellness: How Women Leaders Go from Drain to Reclaim. And that's the book that
Okay.
you can purchase on Amazon.
Got you. So here you have your and we're talking specifically about wellness. Now in your um and I'm going to go through her website so you guys can see it, beautifully done, very simple, but yet, when you look at your website, get an idea of exactly what you do, and that's amazing, cuz some websites you go to and it's like, "Huh? What do they
Yes.
do?"
Helping
Now,
you close the gaps that
got
you're
you.
experiencing.
So do you specialize mainly in, now you said lifestyle habits. Now, are these lifestyle habits just specifically for the workplace, or is this for, because I noticed that you're being an executive wellness coach. Are you specifically gearing those that are in corporate, or is this for like the everyday woman or man that just needs information on how to become better or how to create a better lifestyle habit?
Yes. So I work primarily with women and public service leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the women could be like business owners or people who are in the workforce experiencing health challenges.
So it's not limited to just those that are in the workforce. It's just that it's more centered around people that are in the workforce, because reality is, if you don't feel good anywhere, is
Right.
how you show
Right.
up at work. And the majority of us do work, whether it's at a business, it does affect how you show up. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick break. And then when we get back from the break, we're going to go more into your website and what you do as a wellness coach. And then I want you to share with us some of the things that you actually do when a person actually comes to you and say, Leema, I need help. What can you do to help me experience wellness? As a coach, I want you to share with us what a typical discovery call would look like with you, and what type of person, what is your audience? What is your target audience? Who are the people that should come to you for help and wellness? And we'll be right back. When we come back, we'll be back with our special guest, Leema Pasha, executive wellness coach. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Go get you some coffee and tea, and we'll be right back after this. I did a broadcast a couple of months ago, and I was saying how if you don't operate in your season, you're useless. So, and I gave the example of the fig tree, right? And I said that how Jesus cursed the fig tree because it was time. IBG Careers is looking for customer service representatives needed to service their customers from home. If you're interested, please apply at www.
I've done some terrible things in my life.
Some of them I chose to do.
And I own these choices.
But others, I just feel like I was swept up in a series
of circumstances that didn't involve my will.
They just sort of happened to me.
I've become the culmination of those choices and circumstances.
So I guess I just need to say it.
I really
need some help.
Hi, I'm Nadira Lewis, author, life, and business coach, and founder of the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Academy. I help women take their life experiences and turn them into life lessons. I also believe that just like hurt people, transform people can transform people too. Make sure you book a call with me at www.womanofproverbscoaching.com, and I'll see you on the other side of victory. Want a sneak peek into Saturday's class on how to overcome mental blocks? I'm going to show you how to identify your mental blocks and limiting beliefs. I'm also going to help you develop strategies to overcome your mental blocks and also implement practical techniques to help you overcome. Last but not least, I'm going to show you how to create a plan to maintain progress and momentum in overcoming your mental blocks. Register today. See you Saturday. And we are back with my special guest, Leema Pasha. Listen, guys, I know the commercials went by really quick, but I really want you to take the time to plan your year. Be specific, be intentional with planning your day with God, right? I want you to get my 2023 wisdom, my planner and prayer journal. It's 84 pages. Guys, it is amazing. It has everything from affirmations to you being able to plan out your day. So while you're planning your day, let's plan it with God. Take the time. You know how your mind be going through having 100 of thoughts of what you got to do today, and you find it hard to take the time to slow down, especially if you're a busy woman, right? Even if you're a busybody. But if you are wanting to take some time to plan your day, and to be, you plan your day with God, and you can do it with my journal. Make sure you can get it on Amazon, or you can go to the www.womanofproverbs.com to get it also. And we are back with Leema, executive wellness coach Leema Pasha. So Leema, before we went to the break, I was talking about you being able to how you are how I've asked you the question about, is this specifically for is this specific? Hold on one second, because Mom, I'm in the middle of programming. I'm in the middle of programming. My mom sometimes be calling me in the middle of my broadcast, so forgive me. Mom, I'm recording. So but yeah, so basically I want you to talk about what is it like when someone, at what point does someone say, I need your services? What type of audience or person or women, at what point in their life do they say, you know what, I need your services?
Yes. Generally, it's women in leadership, women who are in middle age, before they get to retirement age, and they realize that, they have some challenges with their wellness, their well being, and they just want support. They can be individuals working with me or people within the workforce. A lot of people that I work with are within the workforce, like a group
Gotcha.
of managers or leaders, executives in the workforce. So I work with them and help them to discover some of the biggest challenges that they have. We go through their strategic action plan so they can review, what are some of the challenges? What are their goals? What are their deepest desires and why they have those desires? So they're able to hear their own voices and see it written down in a plan that can evolve over time. And we work together for a year, or sometime less than a year, to help them uncover their goals, to get them unstuck from where they are now to where they want to go at the end of the year. And they're able to kind of strategically look at, what do I want to do? It can be something that may seem small, like walking during your lunch break instead of sitting down reading your emails at lunch, to kind of doing your affirmations. That's something that I talk to clients about, creating affirmations. And I have a list of affirmations that I support them in practicing on a daily basis. I teach them mindfulness meditation. So in our sessions, we will do meditation with guided meditation with music, with sound. And I also encourage people to think about what they're grateful for, on a daily basis, help them. And it's also contained in my book too, like some of the habits that will help support them on a daily basis to get to their goals. So not only do I sit down with them and help them uncover what these deep desires are and why, and to have faith that they can accomplish those. Those are the three biggest things: to know what you want, to know why you want it, and to have faith that you can, in fact, get to what you want. So it's up a little higher at the very top is the book. Yes, this is the book that's available on Amazon. And so it's such a joy to sit down with clients because a lot of times they're able to uncover and unpack their deepest desires and get to a place of joy around those desires. It's not only about building success in your life, but it's building life's joy, going, savoring life, going from drain to reclaim. You know, you could be exhausted and tired and stressed on a day-to-day basis and suffering from anxiety and wondering why. But when you sit down with the coach and express yourself, express, what's really triggering this anxiety, then you can learn ways to cope that support you.
Awesome. It's so I'm assuming you go into the work, you go into the corporate world and you sit with these and you do, I guess you actually sit with the women there. So is all of your coaching on site, or is it?
We do some Zoom and some on site. So the one-to-ones a lot of times are primarily on Zoom, but then I do mindfulness facilitation where there's small groups of about 10 people. And we'll do meditation, we'll do some exercise movement there. And a lot of times the organization will provide like a light lunch, healthy lunch for the group. And so I lead them with homework so that they can kind of follow up with those healthy habits, the 7 steps that I talk about in the book.
Got you. So you basically focus more on you do a collaboration of group and individual Zoom coaching.
Yes,
sit with them.
Individuals would be Zoom, and then within the organization, I go into the organizations and do small groups. So both have been very transformative. It's good to have that one-to-one experience with people when you talk to them so they can develop their written plan. I also am really big on teaching people the power of visualization. So that's something that we do in the one-on-one. I help them to kind of sit down and envision their desires as if they are already experiencing them, and to develop this as a habit that they can do on a daily basis, to visualize the sight, smell, feel of what they want as if they've already captured it. A lot of times we get stuck in a loop of worrying about our current circumstances if we're not happy. And that's a cycle that can cause people to be stuck. So I help them examine, what is your desire? Coaching is a future focused, goal and oriented action, So it's something that helps you get unstuck and helps you fill in those gaps. And so for a lot of people, a lot of women, they've never really taken the time to sit down and examine what they want. And believe it or not, I'm also an a women's wellness advocate. And one of the things that we learn there is that goal setting helps people to prevent health challenges, because a lot of times we're not able to know what we want. So we're doing all these other things that are causing stress and chaos in our system. We're working against ourselves. We're not working at a point of leverage. And once you realize what your strengths are, so I do also help them identify their strengths and their weaknesses. I help them align. This is the most important thing. Align their wellness, power, and purpose. So,
Mm,
what can
I
you
like
do on a
that.
daily basis to be well that aligns with you, supports your power? Because sometimes people are doing work that's working towards their weaknesses. You want to work towards
Right,
building your strengths.
right. I think too, would you say that a lot of the wellness problems that we have in terms of wellness, meaning the holistic woman, everything that incorporates who we are and how we show up, would you say that a lot of that has to do with the responsibilities that we've taken on? Because women, our bodies are not built to handle the things that we put on ourselves, whether by choice or whether we're forced to do it. And so sometimes we're stuck in that go, go, go mode because we're constantly in a lot of, in this day and time, you have a lot of women that are goal oriented. They're trying to go after the bag, they're trying to, they're trying to secure income to take care of their families, and they're operating in a high level of masculine energy,
Mhm.
which is really focused energy, really. And so when you have a lot, and that's why I said I've been noticing that I'm in a place where I'm starting to try to slow down, because we want it, we can have it all if we want to, but having it all is not going to guarantee we're going to have health either, because we're trying to do it all, not realizing that we're not really enjoying it when we do get it, because we're doing it all and we're not built to do it all. That there is a role in our lives where we do, if God didn't build us, even though there are times where he gives us a strength to do it, we are not built to do it all. And if we keep carrying on that mindset that we're going to do it all, we got this and we this and we don't need no help, you're going to break down your body. And that's what was happening to me. I was that go-getter. I'm the boss chick, because I had to, in a moment of my life where I was taking care of my kids, I had to provide. I had to, educate myself. I had to do things to get myself out of a situation so I can provide, not realizing that I didn't have a lot of time to rest. I didn't have a lot of time to slow down and then even enjoy the things that I was working so hard to provide for my kids, because I was in that go, go, go mode. Now, as I'm getting older, I realize the effect and trauma that I've went through has affected my wellness. And so now I'm taking time to slow down and start to sort out, what's important, what can be put on hold, what do I need to focus on now, versus trying to do all be all, and then you wind up wearing yourself out. Is that do you hear a lot of that when you're talking? Because I talk with
Yes,
Charmaine a lot.
yes.
We talk about, the trauma. A lot of the wellness, has a lot to do with dealing with the trauma that's in our life also.
That's true. That's true. And something I was thinking about a lot is, people talk about breaking generational curses, but it's not so much a curse that you're trying to break. You're trying to get free from the trauma. And I talk about that in
Mm,
my book as well.
wow.
Realizing if you're acting out of trauma or
Mm,
drama,
mm-hmm.
realizing
I
those
like that.
habits that you have. So I
Yeah,
do talk about that in the book.
that's
And one of
amazing.
the habits that we have taken on is to act in more of a masculine role, because we've been put in a position a lot of times to do that if we're single moms, or if we, just
Mm-hmm.
this latest iteration of our society is what
Mm-hmm.
we've, been groomed to do,
Mm-hmm.
some of us. So it does take a different mindset to know that we're not just striving for success, we're striving for joy, we're striving for harmony, we're striving to be able to look and
Mm-hmm.
feel love.
Mm-hmm.
That's way more important than
Mm-hmm.
any material things or any bag or anything.
Absolutely.
Somebody
Absolutely.
said, like, you are the bag. You are you are it. You don't need to chase it.
Mhm. Because in doing so, sometimes running after the bag, we also forget to run after our health. So while you running
Right.
after the bag, you have to make sure you have to make sure that you got, that you're running for your health too, because
Right.
we live in a society now where there's so much emphasis on getting that we don't learn how to stop and
Right.
be.
Right.
I talk about a lot, when I'm talking with my friends and stuff, and I was talking to my girlfriend the other day, and I said I realized that in my older children's life, because of I was a single parent raising these children by myself, I had to be in the mindset of go, go, go. And I was wearing and tearing my body. Like when I look at myself back then and I look at myself now, and I'm like, wow, why do I look so different? And it was because I'm in a different headspace now, because now I'm in, now it's like, okay, I'm learning how to deal with one, like you said, the trauma, because there has been a lot of trauma that I've had to overcome and deal with, and learning how to take better care of my whole well-being. I
Yes.
get, you get used to taking care of other people and doing things for other people so much that you start to think doing things for yourself is, it's like, oh, that's, I'm going to lay myself to the side and do this. And there's nothing wrong for being there for people and being there to support, but you have to make sure that you're balancing and taking care of your needs, because you don't want to spend and I was that type. If I get a little bit of strength, I'm throwing the strength on somebody else. If I get a little, and I wasn't keeping anything for myself, and I was getting burnt out. And then I was starting to do things because I was tired, and it was just like I wasn't exemplifying the joy, that
Mhm.
I knew that was there. And the Bible says the joy of the Lord is your strength. I was not having, and with joy comes strength. I didn't have any joy because I was always running and trying to be in control and 2 steps ahead of the game. And then being in 2 steps ahead of the game, I was 3 steps back in my health, and I was tired all the time. And then I was irritable. I didn't have time to do the things as a mom. I couldn't even enjoy the hard work that I was doing because I
Right.
had no joy. I was
Right.
tired.
Yeah. That's the truth. That is the truth. And we want to be able to get past that.
Yes.
And not only, with the mind, body, and soul wellness,
Mhm.
that's critical. You know,
Yes.
once
Yes.
you sit down and examine your strengths, you'll find out that you have opportunities to earn revenue or money without burning yourself out. So we want you to go
Mm.
from drain to reclaim. We want you to be able
Yes.
to recharge your battery. We don't want you out
Yeah.
here flatlining, you know, because you are just going through the motions. A lot of people are just going through the motions. This is
Mhm.
what we know how to do. We don't
Mhm.
sit down and say, is there another way?
Right.
And in 2023, we're here to say there is another way,
Yes.
and
Definitely.
to find out that way is to align your wellness, power, and purpose. What are you strong at? I also administer something called the DISC assessment,
Mhm.
which is a test that helps you identify your strengths.
Mhm.
We're and that helps you to figure out, what kind of work would you like to do? How do you communicate best with people? And that's all a part of just coming home to yourself,
Mm.
coming home to who you truly are, and learning to escape from trauma.
Mm. Yeah. Definitely. I definitely agree. And I think trauma is not talked about enough in terms of how it affects our well-being, because it doesn't matter if you're eating well and you're doing all those other things, if you're not dealing with the issues that are, because that are in your life, you're not dealing with those mental blocks, if you're not dealing with the issues that are affecting how you show up, it doesn't matter if you have all the information if you're not applying it. And I like how in your, and for those of you, make sure you go to her website, leemapasha.com. She has a free ebook for those that and let me pull it back up. Make sure you go to leemapasha.com. She has a free ebook where she talks about activating wellness. Now, Leema, without giving us everything, because we want people to purchase your book, You have here that you deepen relational and organizational intelligence. Talk to us about what do you mean by that?
Okay, so that's part of the DISC assessment. In the DISC assessment that I do
Mm-hmm.
for organizational leaders, all of the members get to take the assessment and they learn about how they communicate. They learn about how to, um, what their strengths are. They
Okay.
learn their weaknesses. And so that, and also sitting down with the groups,
Mhm.
helping them observe their wins and all of the things that bring them the most joy. I'm able to build that relational intelligence by not only the assessment, because people figure out, what's going on with them internally, but then working with them around the table as a group with different exercises that helps to deepen that emotional intelligence and resilience.
Wow. Now, I've heard that word is thrown around a lot in the coaching industry and
Mhm.
a lot of about emotional intelligence. Why don't you explain to us what exactly how do you explain emotional intelligence?
Okay. So in the program that I was in my master's program, we studied Daniel Goleman, and he's the one who coined the term emotional intelligence.
Okay.
Um, it helps you get back in tune with your emotions. I remember early on when I first got in the workforce,
Mhm.
someone said, feelings don't count here and emotions and all that. But
Mm.
then we realized that the people who are the most resilient and able to cope as managers and as leaders, they understand their own emotions and the emotions of others and
Mm.
what triggers them and how to support people on an emotional level.
Mm.
So we want to be able to communicate really strongly. One thing I teach is mindful communication, and that supports that emotional intelligence. So with mindful communication, you really are able to listen versus just trying to overtalk everyone. And you don't want to dominate. You're listening with the intent to really deepen that bond with the person.
Mm.
That and yeah, emotional intelligence is really powerful because there are people who are creating microaggression as leaders, and then there are also people who are experiencing microaggression. So both are, unable to have the strong emotional support that they need to function. And there's some exercises that can help organizations to learn to better cope. And one of them is mindfulness meditation and mindfulness leadership communication. So those are I really enjoy teaching that. People, it's transformative because going from a mind state where feelings and emotions don't count
Mm.
to
Yeah.
knowing that your IQ is not the only thing that matters. It's also
Mm.
the emotional quotient,
That's good. That's good. Wow. That's amazing because you're really teaching people how to be present.
Right.
How to be
Yeah.
present in communication and how to be
Mhm.
present, and that could extend vertically from your home to your business to your workplace, because if you don't know how, part of being a good communicator is learning how to listen, and
Right.
so and being aware, like you said, of the person that you're interacting with, being knowing when to listen, when to talk. And that's a skill. That's not something that you have to sometimes learn. It's a skill that I have learned and I'm still learning, how to listen not listen to respond, but listen to understand. And I think when you help people to become more aware and more present, then it becomes easier to listen with understanding, because sometimes people don't always they already can give themselves the answer when you're just sitting there listening to them. Sometimes the answer just shows up because everything we need is already on the inside of us. And so
Right.
sometimes when we position ourselves as coaches to be present and to be there, sometimes we can sit there and be a mirror, and allowing teaching people the process of being able to unpack their emotions. I think that's a part of the emotional intelligence, is being able to have control over your emotions, and being able to know how to be how when to allow your emotions to overflow, and I mean not to overflow, but when to allow your emotions to sit at bay, and when to be able to expose them. Because sometimes we get overly emotional, like there's an example, right? I think it was like last week. So I go into Bojangles, and I'm telling you, I better learn from these Chinese folks that cook this chicken the night before and warm it up and say it's ready in 5 minutes. I went to Bojangles, and this lady, I was like, boy, talk about some emotional intelligence. She's sitting there and she's like, I've been waiting for a long time. I want my chicken. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, is this lady going to go off? So she starts flipping out, right? Over the chicken. So the guy says, just calm down. Like, he's like, just calm down. It's not that serious. Like, there's a lot of people ahead of you. So this lady gets upset. She starts a war in Bojangles, which is, those of you that don't know, Bojangles is like a Popeyes or a Church's Chicken. It's a chicken place. She jumps over the counter and attacks the person. I was like, I'm going to exit stage left, because there's no way that I'm going to allow my emotions. I was hungry too, but goodness gracious. I said to myself, I was like, exit left, because nowadays when people are getting that angry and they have no control over their emotions, they're liable. I was not going to wind up in a hospital or at a police station because of somebody's inability to control their emotions.
Right.
And I believe that's what is, to add to what you're saying, emotional intelligence is the ability to control and manage your emotions so that you can be able to communicate. So instead of her saying, look, it's been a long time, and they actually gave her money back, but she wanted the money and the chicken. So I was like, wow, like when she flipped over the table, I was like, exit left, I'm out.
Oh my goodness.
I left that place so fast, got in my car, and I was like, I will not be going over here to eat chicken again. Because it just lets you know that not everybody has the ability, and that is something that has to be learned. So it's good that you go into the corporate industry, because some of these folks need help being able to manage their emotions especially when you're in an environment where you work around other people. And you're not able, and some folks just don't know how to talk to people. Let's just be real. Some people don't know how to talk to people. And so
they don't know how to talk to people.
Use their ability. Yeah, they use their position,
their authority,
and their authority to pretty much to control you or to treat you like you're less than them.
There's people who belittle people, there's different ways. But the important thing is for people to have that presence, to know who they are, self-awareness, so that they know if they're doing something that's creating problems, if they're spewing microaggression. And I also encourage my clients to get their physicals, to make sure that they're healthy, their vitamin levels are healthy, because some people, they can have hormonal imbalances, they can have certain deficiencies or other mental health challenges that they don't know about, and they're just flying off the handle. So I do encourage people to work in concert with their doctors so that they know where they stand with their health, both physically, mentally, because this is about mind, body, and soul wellness.
Absolutely. Wow. So we're going to take another quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to have some final words with our special guest and executive wellness coach, Leema Pasha. I don't know why I'm almost tempted to say doctor with that.
Oh,
I don't
maybe
know.
that's next. I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems like that goes well with Dr. Pasha, Dr. Leema Pasha.
Okay.
I don't know. You never know what may happen. You might show up on Dr. Phil as a specialist.
Right.
You never know. But in the meantime, we will be back. For those of you, make sure you put it in the comments. If you're in what state you're actually watching us from, and if you are enjoying the broadcast, if you have any questions for Dr. to be Leema Pasha, make sure you put it in the comments and we'll answer your questions both here on the broadcast, and Leema will also be available after the broadcast for any questions or concerns that you might have in terms of executive wellness. And if you need her to come to your location, are you traveling, Leema, or you're just basically doing
Yes,
how are you?
can travel. I'm
Okay.
here in the Bay Area, close to San Francisco, but I can
Nice.
travel.
Okay, great. So make sure you guys reach out to Leema at leemapasha.com and schedule her to come out to your workplace so so some of y'all employees won't end up like the lady in Bojangles Chicken because they can't deal with emotional wellness. No, just kidding.
And it's really a big problem in the workforce. They're saying
It
it's
is.
costing $300 billion as far as medical claims that people, it's a combination of both the sick leave and people leaving, resigning, and so many things because they need support with their health.
Wow.
Their health and wellness. So it's a big concern. And that's where people are, people are in the workforce. So anywhere where people are, there are challenges and wellness is a big one.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the reasons why I like to go into the workforce, because that's where, 90% of middle-aged people are.
That's where we're experiencing that's that new age trauma.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be right back with our guest, Leema Pasha, after this.
Bring it on home time. Gotta go big time. Bring it on home time.
I did a broadcast a couple of months ago, and I was saying how if you don't operate in your season, you're useless. So, and I gave the example of the fig tree, right? And I said that how Jesus cursed the fig tree because it was time. IBG Careers is looking for customer service representatives needed to service their customers from home. If you're interested, please apply at www.
I've done some terrible things in my life,
Some of them I chose to do.
and I own these choices.
But others, I just feel like I was swept up in a series.
Been a series of circumstances that didn't involve my will.
They just sort of happened to me.
I've become the culmination of those choices and circumstances.
So I guess I just need to say it.
I really,
Really.
Really need some help.
Hi, I'm Nadira Lewis, author, life, and business coach, and founder of the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Academy. I help women take their life experiences and turn them into life lessons.
I also believe that just like hurt people, transform people can transform people too. Make sure you book a call with me at www.womanofproverbscoaching.com, and I'll see you on the other side of victory.
Want a sneak peek into Saturday's class on how to overcome mental blocks? I'm going to show you how to identify your mental blocks and limiting beliefs. I'm also going to help you develop strategies to overcome your mental blocks and also implement practical techniques to help you overcome. Last but not least, I'm going to show you how to create a plan to maintain progress and momentum in overcoming your mental blocks. Register today. See you Saturday. Hi. Do you have a testimonial that you would like to share here with the Sisterhood Check-In audience? We'd love to hear from you. Make sure you send me an email at becomingawomanofproverbs@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on Facebook at the @handle Woman of Prov. And we'd love to share and hear all the wonderful things that God has done in your life too. Have a wonderful day. All right, and we are back here with our final segment here at Sisterhood Check-In. And Leema, I wanted to also say that that you actually, I wanted to, my brain just went to like a brain freeze. I just forgot exactly what I was gonna say. I had a brain freeze, but hopefully it'll come back to me. But is there any final suggestions or advice that you would give to those that are watching in terms of wellness?
Well, I wanted to read a little bit from my book.
Okay.
But the advice that I would give is to really identify what you want, know why you want it, and have faith that you can accomplish it. And then I would sit down and write those goals down, because there are very few people that have written goals, and writing down your goals are much more likely to help you to accomplish them.
I
And
agree.
number two, I would definitely learn about mindfulness meditation. And that's one of the things I teach you. I have a YouTube channel, Leema Pasha, on YouTube, and I have some mindfulness meditations there that you can listen to. That for just 10 minutes a day, it'll make a difference, because it sharpens your self-awareness. You become aware of those thought patterns that you have that may no longer be serving you. You just sit down for a moment of quiet time. And then it makes it to the point where when you're not meditating, you're more aware of your thoughts, and you're able to like say, okay, that's not something that's beneficial to me, because the thoughts that we have today are shaping our future. We're creating these things like a tape recorder in our minds. If we're saying negative things to ourselves on a daily basis, we're not trusting and fully loving ourselves, then we're not able to get to the joy that we want. So develop a system that's going to help you to improve your thought pattern, because that's where it starts, those thoughts that you have about yourself. Just fully love and embrace yourself, and know whatever season you're in, start from here, because the next phase is going to be determined by what you do now. You don't have to be stuck.
I like that.
You
The
know,
next phase is going to be determined by what you do now. That's powerful.
right.
That's powerful. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So God, thank you so much, Leema, for just sharing all your wisdom. Make sure you guys go to her website, leemapasha.com, and support and purchase her book and download her ebook. You are not going to be disappointed. She has been doing this for a while now, and she has transformed many people's lives in her coaching program. So make sure you go to her website, www.leemapasha.com, and purchase her book. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Leema, thank you for taking time out of your day. I know you're on the West Coast. My daughter's over there on the West Coast. She's out there. So I thank you so much for taking time and sacrificing your sleep time. I know you're in a different time frame than we are. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining me here on Sisterhood Check-In. And just let me know I'm more than welcome, more than happy to be on your broadcast anytime. Leema
Yes, I can't wait.
Leema
I can't
Pasha also
wait.
has a broadcast. So make sure you watch her on YouTube. And go to her website. You can get to see some of her videos on YouTube. She has an amazing broadcast also. So I cannot wait to join you also there where you are too.
Yeah,
So
that would be amazing.
just let me know. Just let me know. And I'm there. Just let me know. And I'll make arrangements to accommodate you on your broadcast. Again, thank you so much for watching. And thank you for each and every one of you that join us every Friday here on Sisterhood Check-In. We don't take it for granted that you join every Friday. Thank you for those that are watching on a replay, for taking the time to watch the replay. Make sure you put in the comments, #replay. And if you have any questions for myself or Leema, make sure you put it in the comments and we will get to you as soon as we can. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing day. All right. Until next time. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, Nadira.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hi. Do you have a testimonial that you would like to share here with the Sisterhood Check-In audience? We'd love to hear from you. Make sure you send me an email at becomingawomanofproverbs@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on Facebook at the @handle Woman of Prov. And we'd love to share and hear all the wonderful things that God has done in your life